Hey guys, I'm Mr. Genie here, aka Mustached. I'm here to review the movie Bloodshot. If you've not been enjoying this review, then consider joining my Patreon page. Any donations are desperately needed. Alrighty then. This movie follows actor Vin Diesel. And we start the movie off with these two armies meeting up. And Vin Diesel's character moves on in this war zone, and he breaches in a little bit too early. But after seeing this hostage situation, he guns down the guy by tricking him, by accepting the helicopter, the guy's like, oh, I want a helicopter, and he's like, oh, but I need a phone. So he tricks him. So he goes back to his wife, and they do the sex. But after the fact, after he hears a noise, so he gets up and he's attacked. And he gets a little drugged. So his attacker, named Martin Axe, decides he's gonna have a little fun. He's gonna have a little dance, gonna mock. And also has brought that wife named Tifa, Vin Diesel's character, by the way, his name is Ray, and proceeds to kill her. And that, of course, upsets him to the fact of, like, just kill me too. So he actually does so, or so we think. We cut to the hospital, where we hear a deadline. But after he gets all cleaned up, he wakes up with a whole new tech body. He's in a place called RTS, I believe that's what it was called. And he also meets a woman named Katie. So he's been told he's been given a second chance. Is given a tour of this place that he's in, and it seems to be some sort of building that houses all these type of technological advances, including a nanomachine sun, or as they call it in the movie, nano knights. The doc himself has a metal arm, and proceeds to show off the rest of the team. So as Ray's going through this routine, he's starting to have these flashes of the memory of what happened beforehand. So he's doing a little practice, punching a bag, and then he proceeds to punch a wall, seeing how strong he has become. Then he proceeds to check out the other, Daisy, or Katie, training in the water. So she proceeds to give him a medal. And talks about how she was the only woman in her squad. So she offers him some drinks, and that causes him to have another flashback. And the same song that was playing in when they were in the area is what was playing. So he gets more memories about what happened. So he goes off. He teaches himself how to fly. He targets Martin Axe. The lights go out where he is. He's in this convoy of cars, or vans. So the cars ahead of his get wrecked, and Ray hits down and gets a little injured in return. He's not, particularly worried about getting shot at. So Ray goes on the attack, and the men try to fire. So Ray rushes through the fire like a juggernaut, and again, he gets shot in the face, and it doesn't even seem to be able to stop him even with that. So Ray is able to kill him and return to the base. Now that seems like already like, oh, he's done the thing he wanted to do, okay? But no, the team picks him up, and he gets chased down by two other robots, or not robots, but like two individuals who have robot parts. One who has robot legs, and the other has something, the eyes, I think it was. Um, so, meanwhile, they bring him back, and they make him forget everything. All the memories that he just had, and all the memories they had before, they're going to actually, well, the doc is actually going to alter them. We also learned that, what's her, I keep forgetting her name. Tifa. No, that was the wife. Katie, sorry. Can't leave the building. She has her own tech, and she can't breathe without it. So they alter his memories, as I mentioned, and they talk about it as they have him go after another target. They do the same exact sequence. They have him target another individual, implanting new memories. And they seem to be targeting these tech creators. But the one they are currently following has an EMP, so they're a little bit worried because Ray is made out of all this nanite stuff, so EMP, oh, that'd be no good. But he kills him just in time. But he also meets this other tech guy while there named Walter Wiggins. So, the other people, as I mentioned, that were being targeted were defectors of the tech group that we have been following. So Ray gives up some of his tech so that this Walter guy can do some digging, and he looks for Tifa a little bit. But the two other robots, Tibbs and Dawson, I believe are their names, are there to try to pick him up. And he goes to find his wife, but his wife has apparently moved on and has a family now. It's been actually 5 years. So, anyway, he leaves, and shortly after, the two, Tibbs and Dawson give chase. He's like attacking Dawson, and they manage to, in the process of this fight, they manage to shut him down. So, he is eventually turned off. And we see that they had Tifa. Sorry, what was it? I keep mixing up their two names. Katie. They have her go after the tech guy Wiggins, but they make a plan. They trick the tech group. So the two of them are now working together pretty abruptly. And with their combined effort, they're able to essentially free Ray and have him remember all the stuff that he's supposed to remember. This causes the other two robots to want to give chase. He fights them again. The fight has a bit more of a bigger flair. But Ray manages to drop one of them off of this high building. So he ends up going in a car with the other two. So he's shot at, being chased still, but he drops the bomb, or something of the effect of one. Helps take down the other guy. So the bomb helps him also initiate being removed from dealing with the doc guy, because they deal with him as well. Anyways, Ray, after nearly being wiped out, because he had his own energy thing and the other two are looking at that, he has them, Wiggins has the two of them join him, and they are freed to do whatever they will. They drive off into the sunset, into the middle of nowhere. And that was Bloodshot. So, one of the issues immediately present in this movie is that we are dealing with a near indestructible character. This, of course, removes a lot of the tension from the movie. And this, this feels very Terminator without being Terminator, if that makes sense. It feels like it could fit under the horror genre, but it doesn't. And in between that and 2, if you're referring to Terminator 2, you have the near indestructible Terminator, but what makes the movie more interesting is that we have young Connor being the character that needs to be the one that needs to be protected. He is the one that is fallible, he is the one who can be killed. That makes the movie have that tension. It has that extra little, is everything gonna be alright? Among other things. And this movie doesn't feel like it has that. It doesn't feel like it has that moment of, things might not turn out well. I suppose but the doc holding, what's her name? Katie hostage, that has a different sort of vibe to it. I want to say this feels like a Superman conundrum. How do you make Superman interesting? You have him follow characters that are human, have him protect characters that are human, etc., etc. And a few other dilemmas along the way, but that's primarily one of the bigger ones in this scenario, if we're making comparisons. But again, this movie doesn't have that. She's also tech built, which does have a little bit of a different sway to it. It has a very different vibe to it. So the movie never really feels like there's any sort of tension or anything of that nature. The whole revenge thing, it's kept pretty simplistic as well, being the other thing. The people who rebuilt him are actually the evil characters. It's been done before. And the way it's dealt with here, the tech part of that is very interesting, I suppose. But outside of that, it doesn't feel like they really take advantage of, having stakes, having something to lose. And again, that could have been accomplished by a few different things. Maybe it might not have been such a great idea to kill the wife only for the wife to be alive, which I don't know how that works. Did she also get resurrected? She has a kid, so I don't know. I don't know how that works. Maybe she was just given one? Again, I don't know. It's never explained in the movie, so it's really hard to tell. If she kept her interest in him, and maybe even followed him, maybe that actually would have given that heightened, sense of, oh, is she gonna be alright? Because she's following him, and she's the one who doesn't have all these tech upgrades? I don't know. Something along those lines. Definitely would have helped this movie out in its progression. As is, it's a pretty generic, action-oriented movie. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I think this movie could have done a lot more to signify that, oh, there are stakes, oh, there's consequences that can be had. Because he does run out of energy, have that be more, have more effect in the movie, because that seems to not really matter at the end of the day, because it only happens at the end of the movie, and it doesn't really seem to do anything. Have those things have stakes, have them have consequences. Maybe I know I'm comparing it to another Terminator movie, but the more recent one where he's like running out of energy consistently or a lot more often because he's made out of so much, nanite technology. Something to just build a little bit more of he's not, he might be indestructible, but, side effects. Something to make him more of a character. Because he's just not that interesting. And he's just not that interesting to follow because he doesn't have any stakes, he doesn't have any consequences. So yeah, I'm going to stick with a 5 out of 10. And if you enjoyed my review, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Also make sure to check out those links in the description. One to head over to my Discord server, the other to my Patreon page. Any donations are desperately needed, and until next time, everyone, bye-bye.